Okay, so get this. The Ronin network wants to onboard billions of gamers into the world of blockchain. Billions. We're talking about like fundamentally changing how we play and earn in games.
Yeah, the big goal.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah,
So today, we're diving deep into their white paper to see if they can actually pull it off.
should be interesting.
And here's the thing. This isn't just about lines of code, It's about creating a whole new gaming economy. Think less about, like, confusing crypto wallets and more about owning your in-game items. Like, you own real-world stuff.
That's the dream, right?
Right.
For a lot of gamers.
Right. Intrigued. I know I am. Let's get started. So the Ronin White Paper, it gets pretty technical. But don't worry, we've got you covered. First things first, they're tech. They call it anti-fragile.
Anti-fragile.
What does that even mean? Well, it means they designed it to not just survive, but actually thrive on challenges.
Yeah, it's a big claim for sure.
Huh.
But their approach to security is interesting. Take their Delegated Proof-of-Stake System, DPoS for short. It's like a network of computers all working together to verify transactions and keep everything running smoothly.
Like a digital neighborhood watch for your crypto. I
Thank
like
you.
it. But Ronin's taking it a step further with their rotating validators upgrade. So imagine, instead of the same few people always being on watch, the responsibility gets shared around the community,
Right.
and those who participate earn rewards.
Exactly. And that shift from a more centralized system is a big deal.
Mm.
It speaks to their goal of decentralization, putting more power in the hands of the community rather than a single entity. For you, that could mean a gaming experience that's less subject to the whims of any one company.
I like the sound of that. Okay, next up, ZKEVMs. I know another acronym.
Wouldn't be blockchain without acronyms, right?
Right. But this one's cool. Imagine you're buying a super rare item in a game, right? With ZKEVMs, you can prove you have enough crypto to buy it without revealing your entire transaction history to the seller.
Interesting.
Privacy right in the game.
And that privacy is crucial for scalability. As more players join the network, the number of transactions skyrockets. ZKEVMs help Ronin process all those actions quickly and efficiently without bogging down the system, which is essential for a smooth gaming experience.
Makes sense. No one wants lag in their game, especially not because of some clunky blockchain. Okay, last tech bit for now. The multi-proof bridge. Think of it as a super secure bridge connecting different blockchains. Not just Ethereum anymore. They're building bridges to all kinds of other blockchains, creating a kind of gaming multiverse.
This is where things start to get really exciting. Imagine being able to move your in-game items and currency between different games on different blockchains seamlessly. That's the potential here.
Whoa, that would be huge. No more walled gardens, just one big interconnected world of games. Okay, so Ronin is talking a big game when it comes to their tech. But is it all just hype? Okay, that's a lot of tech talk. But what does it actually look like for you, the gamer? This is where the Ronin White Paper dives into their strategy for getting those billions of players on board.
Yeah, onboarding is key.
Right. And the keyword here is simplicity.
Right, they're laser-focused on making blockchain gaming accessible to everyone, not just the tech-savvy early adopters.
Exactly. They talk about something called frictionless onboarding. Basically, they want to make it as easy to jump into a blockchain game as it is to sign into your social media. Imagine logging in with your existing accounts.
Oh, wow.
No need to wrestle with complicated wallets or private keys.
Interesting. It's about removing those barriers to entry, making the technology invisible so you can focus on what matters, playing the game.
And in this case, it's not just about playing, it's about ownership. Remember, you actually own your in-game assets on a blockchain. But Ronin doesn't stop there. They talk a lot about the importance of community.
Absolutely. They're pushing for games that are less about quick profits and more about building lasting communities. Think about your favorite online games. It's the community that keeps you coming back, right?
Right.
Ronin wants to reward players for their loyalty and participation.
So how are they actually doing that?
It's baked into their whole economic model. They want to give players more control over in-game economies, even allowing them to earn from their skills and contributions.
Wow.
It's a big shift from the traditional gaming model where the developers hold all the cards.
Okay. So you've got this easy onboarding, a focus on community, and then there's this whole other layer, data ownership. What's the deal with that?
This is where things get really interesting. We all know that games collect tons of data on how we play. But what if instead of that data being locked away in some companies' servers, you could actually own it and even profit from it?
Hold on. You're saying I could get rewarded for just playing games. Tell me more.
That's the potential here. Imagine earning rewards for reaching certain milestones, contributing to the game's development, or even just for being a loyal player.
Okay.
It's a completely different way of thinking about the relationship between players and developers.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. But before we get too carried away, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Ronin treasury. This is where things get a little more complex. What exactly is it and why should we care? So we've talked about how Ronin wants to revolutionize gaming, right? But how are they going to fund this ambitious project? That's where the Ronin treasury comes in. Think of it like a giant community fund.
Okay.
But instead of bake sales, it's fueled by the games themselves.
Right? Like a portion of the revenue from games and apps on the Ronin network goes straight into this treasury. And we're not just talking about some theoretical future either. It's already happening with projects like their Katana DX,
Well, correct.
which is a decentralized exchange for crypto, and the Mavis market, where you
Wow.
can buy and sell NFTs for games.
So real money is flowing into this thing. What's the plan for actually using it?
Well, the idea is that the Ronin treasury will be self-sustaining, funding the long-term growth and development of the entire ecosystem. Imagine things like grants for game developers, security audits to keep everything safe, and even funding to improve the underlying technology.
It sounds promising, but let's be real. Putting a huge pile of money in one place always comes with risks, right? What could go wrong?
You're right to be cautious. Transparency is key. The white paper mentions using the treasury for public goods that benefit everyone. But how do we ensure that happens? That's where governance comes in.
Okay.
Who decides how the money is spent? Do players have a say? These are all important questions to consider.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the Ronin treasury has incredible potential, but it all boils down to trust.
Yeah.
Trust in Ronin, trust in the developers building on their platform, and trust in the governance mechanisms they put in place.
Exactly. And that trust is earned, not given. It's still early days, and there's still a lot of unknowns.
Okay, so let's take a step back and think about what we've learned. Ronin has laid out an ambitious vision for the future of gaming with player-centric features and a novel approach to community ownership. They've got interesting tech B, a solid strategy, and this fascinating, if slightly risky, treasury system. It all sounds great on paper, but will it live up to the hype?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Only time will tell if Ronin can truly revolutionize gaming or if it'll become just another footnote in gaming history.
One thing's for sure, this is a story worth watching. If Ronin succeeds in onboarding even a fraction of those billions of gamers, it could have a ripple effect throughout the entire industry. So what do you think? Is Ronin the future of gaming? Head over to our socials and let us know your thoughts. Until next time, happy gaming.